Hi, it's me. We're going to go ahead and start a new game. This is Halo Wars 2. This is the second video of the day. So, let's get cooking. Heroic. We'll ignore the advanced tutorial. If it's anything like the basic tutorial, we will learn not much. So...
Wake up. Something has happened. The Spirit of Fire is in a situation I could not anticipate. I'm certain Professor Anders would enjoy that little admission. So let's keep it between us, shall we? We've been adrift for just over 28 years. I've made quite a few repairs while you were sleeping. So ship systems are 100%. Cryo worked well, and med stats on all remaining crew are green. As for me, well, regulations are clear about final dispensation at the end of an AI's 7-year lifespan. I took care of my own arrangements rather than wake you. I didn't want to... well, I hope you can forgive this final breach of protocol. It was a pleasure and an honor to serve with you, sir. Do look after everyone for me, would you? Goodbye, Captain. Serena out.
What a man! Look at him. The grizzled face of justice.
I'll need to get down there. Immediately, of course.
Good morning to you too, Professor.
I'm sorry, Captain. It's good to see you too. But just look at it.
What is it? And where are we?
No idea. Our astronavigation system can't pinpoint a location. We're not on the map anymore.
We didn't drift out of the galaxy in 28 years, Professor. Since records show we arrived via slip space less than an hour ago.
Our slip space drive is gone. However we got here, it wasn't us who initiated the trip.
What is this Iron Man shit?
Something down there.
So goofy.
Must have opened the portal from this end and pulled us in.
Captain Cutter, sir, we received a signal from the surface. It's UNSC.
Signal to my location, Lieutenant. Let's hear what they have to say.
I'm sorry, Captain, I can't play it for you, sir. The message has an encryption scheme we haven't seen before.
Security measures would advance without us. But it is coming through on a UNSC frequency. This is good. When we left, the war wasn't going well. The signal means the UNSC is still fighting, or maybe we even won. What's the source of the transmission?
We don't have the surface details yet, sir. Something down there is blocking our scans, and without Serena... But we do have a rough location. Should be simple enough to triangulate once we pick up the signal from the ground.
Cutter to Jerome.
Reporting, Captain.
Prep Spartan Red Team and a small recon squad. Professor Anders will send you the coordinates. Find out who's sending that signal. Be on the ground within the hour. Travel light.
Roger that, Captain. Recon only.
28 years, Professor. Let's see what kind of galaxy we woke up to.
Is Is this one of those Onyx things from one of the stupid books that they wrote about how like there were Spartans and then a colony of elites that
Professor Anders
started sucking
any
each other
update
off
on
or
the source
something?
of that signal?
It wasn't easy, but I've narrowed it down to a small sector, and our recon teams are investigating now.
I've cleared up the scans a bit, and it looks like there's a UNSC outpost or research station, but it's heavily damaged. It doesn't look good, but the Spartans will handle it. They always do.
It would be a lot faster if you let me go down with them, Captain.
Without Serena here, I need you on the ship, Professor. Besides, we don't know what's waiting for us down there. Jerome, get Red Team to the Professor's coordinates, ASAP. I want you to make first contact with whoever's sending that signal.
Understood, sir. We'll find them.
Well, obviously they changed the voice actors of the characters here, Cutter and Anders. They also changed how Anders looked completely. She was like sort of Asian in the first game, and now her face has like been flattened by cryo or something. It's really weird. She does some really strange facial expressions in that cutscene, so I don't know what was going on there. But this is actually a really cool story concept. Just starting out, I know where it's going, roughly speaking. Presumably, there's like a bunch of those stupid Forerunner retards that are running around that completely ruins Halo's any hope Halo had of telling a compelling story in Halo 4 and onward. But if you try and separate out what Halo is from Halo 4 onward, I think maybe there's something that you might be able to look at there, but it's sort of like not as bad holistically, but it is similar to StarCraft 2 compared to StarCraft 1, Halo 4 compared to the rest of the series that came before it. Generally from what I feel. I haven't played Halo 5, so I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. But anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, it's a cool concept as like an opener, right? You were adrift for X amount of years, but it's like it's not just you. It's like in a context of an RTS, like there's enough people on this ship to be its own faction in like a strategy game, and they're all like been silent, completely gone for a long, long time. That's really interesting. So, props. Credit where credit is due. It's a compelling opener. I'm very interested. And I also like that this opening screen here really tells us that this is sort of like an RTS, right? It's sort of like those StarCraft 2 opening screens, but I like that there's like an animated background, and then we've got this like stuff that's supposed to set the scene and explain to us what the setting is where we're going to be jumping into. And then there's like a tip, difficulty, mission summary. I like the scouting report too, because it is almost like an actual tip. This is just like generic tips about how the game works, but this is more like talking about how something related to the story is happening, and you can like look at this. Whereas this is like the mission summary was more objective details or something. I don't really know.
Actual. I'm approaching the drop zone with Red Team. Stand by for drop, Red Team.
Looking forward to shaking off some cobwebs, sir.
Alrighty then. We have a Warthog with Spartans in it.
Feels good to have our feet back on real ground again, doesn't it, Alice?
You saw this place on the drop down, Douglas. Nothing real about it.
Alice is right. We don't know what's waiting for us down there. Keep your eyes out for trouble. Looking forward to taking on the enemy.
What about this? What's over here? What?
Make my way.
Okay, so S does not tell your unit to stop. So this is already really obnoxious. S moves the camera.
On my way.
We are zoomed all the way out? Yeah, we are.
I'm there.
Okay, so we're just sort of like looking around. This is the first contact area.
On one reporting, sir. We set up charges to clear a path for you when you're ready. I don't know what they were defending against, but there's some heavy-duty barricades here.
Okay.
Everybody get clear. Light up those charges, Alice. They won't use them. I'm there, sir. Spartan, moving out.
Phoenix log collected.
Jerome, these aren't military defenses.
No, these were made in a hurry. They must have been desperate.
Why wouldn't they have defenses? They must have expected to be a target for the Covenant.
On the way.
It wasn't the Covenant. Dun,
Hold
dun,
on.
dun.
Jump up ahead. I missed this.
Wow.
These are research buildings, no defenses. The people here weren't soldiers. They were scientists.
I see plasma burns. Lots of them. Looks like Covenant work.
But it wasn't really them. Oh.
On my way. More plasma burns. They didn't leave much standing.
Whoever it was, it looks like they're long gone.
All
We'll
right.
know more when we get to the source of that signal. My way.
One thing I will say is I really like the feature that allows you to like sort of zoom in and out and have this sort of like rotating camera, because it does allow you to explore like different sides of the
I'm there.
area or like the scenery, and it looks pretty good so far.
Moving to position. What's a Nightingale doing here? Do we have wounded? Getting going. Moving out.
Well, they must just have magically new units from
It's one of our recon teams, sir. We found them like this when we arrived. Didn't see what hit them.
Looks like we may see some action after all.
uh-huh.
On the way.
I don't know what you're talking about, but all right.
Jerome, our recon team scouted out this portal that will take you down to that signal. I've ordered the rest of our forces to stay back and protect your exit while you investigate.
Yes, sir. On point.
Okay. It's definitely Forerunner tech. Unless the Covenant also got really advanced, but from what I remember with Halo 4, they were just
Professor,
all
we
fucked
found
up.
some more portals. There's something strange about them.
Odd. They look like they've been modified. And those machines attached to them aren't UNSC tech. Keep an eye out for any more of them.
Well, they look pretty UNSC to me. I don't know. Well,
Smart.
again,
Moving out.
it's just Forerunner
Moving
shit.
out.
Man. I'm telling you.
Making my way.
I'm a little disappointed. Oh wait, no, you did double tap Alt to reset the camera. Okay, they didn't tell me that in the basic tutorial. Ugh.
Henry Lamb Research Outpost. Spirit of Fire, we're outside. Base looks clear from out here. Let's see who's been calling.
I do like that this game seems to have had more attention to detail with its animations, and they seem to have actually animated some other things, like on the ground with the Marines doing push-ups and stuff, and like they had all that stuff where the Marines were poking around. Some of them were warping in because we got there too fast, maybe? I don't know what's going on there, but there also seems to be a heavy amount of cutscenes here, so I like that.
Spartans, thank God. We have to get out of here.
Identify.
Isabel, UNSC Logistics, Arc Research Outpost.
Isabel, where are the survivors? What's the strength of the Covenant force here?
Covenant? No. Why would... Listen, you're in incredible danger.
What was that?
It's him.
Oh,
You're coming with us.
they're just getting their asses kicked.
As I suspected. Nothing but a man.
Red Team Leader, this is Recon 1. You have multiple hostiles approaching your location.
Alice. We're leaving.
Little demon.
Command, this is Red Team. We have a Spartan casualty.
Hunt them down.
Immediate evac requested.
Find out where they came from.
Douglas, stay with me.
And bring me back anything
Douglas!
useful.
do? Jerome, the Spirit of Fire action.
Cutter here. Status.
Sir, requesting danger close. On our location, trailing north. Commence 5 seconds.
Interesting plan.
Understood. Archer missiles inbound.
This is a long fucking cutscene, but I like it.
Hang on.
I mean, well, maybe they could have synced that up a little bit better. What do you guys think? Alright, well, we gotta get the Warthog out of here.
Oh, what's happening out there?
Oh, then they decided not to run him over?
What? What? Isabel, sit tight.
Then we're coming back for that brute.
I tried to warn you. You're lucky to be alive.
Holy shit. What is that fucking speed up shit that is happening? That's insanity.
Watch out! Over there!
They're using the Ark's portals.
Portals. Why is it always portals?
Ah! Oh, okay. Listen, fuck you with your optional mission objective shit. You made me take like 10% damage just from existing. Because you made the Warthog like fly back.
Alice, now!
On it!
Make it quick! They're closing in!
That's it! Move! I'll cover you!
With my portable turret. Wait.
She's gone.
Don't you believe it, Isabel. We're on board, pilot. Let's go.
We have a medical team standing by for Douglas, Jerome. I want a full report from you and that AI as soon as you get back to the Spirit of Fire.
Wow, that was really... What? The pacing is just all off. That ending cutscene, that closing cutscene really seems to have just been fucked. I don't know, man. I don't know. Some things in this game seem to look visually appealing, but then other things really don't. So I didn't really get any downtime. That was a very on-rails, tightly packed, cutscene-heavy opening. Presumably we'll have more downtime to talk about those things that I wanted to talk about in future videos, in future episodes of this. But suffice it to say that the squad stuff, and they really do take away pristine unit control. Like if I take a single Marine in StarCraft, and I order him to move somewhere, right-click, he will follow that order and try to get there, even if his pathfinding logic is really retarded. Whereas squads, they do all sorts of weird shit. Like in Dawn of War 2 is a good example. They automatically like try to take cover on stuff, or they like look a certain way, and facing angles is a really big part of that game's balance and stuff. So like trying to figure out how that works in, and then you also have like cover systems and garrisoning shit, and that further complicates stuff because that's more automated AI behavior that you don't have pristine control over. So it's really obnoxious. And for me personally, I really prefer to have full control over my units. I also really dislike the idea that a unit is just going to perform significantly better depending on RNG, basically, like stuff that you really is uncontrollable outside of a few select circumstances, like a unit that kills, like say a couple Marine squads use their RPG ability in the first game, or grenade ability if you didn't upgrade them, against a Wraith. And then that squad levels up, but it's random which squad levels up. So it might be like a squad with 0 HP. It's not really random, but obviously with the way that those work, presumably whatever unit got the killing blow against the Wraith would get the veterancy or points towards the veterancy, even if that didn't level them up immediately. But say it did level them up, what if it was the 1 HP, 1 member squad that leveled up and then immediately got destroyed? Then there's no impact. But what if it's the full health one that has no casualties and no health damage that levels up, and then you have this problem because it's basically trying to force you, almost in a way, it has like the knock-on effect of trying to force you to like take that 1 HP Marine out of there in a situation where you may need all hands on deck to use all of the abilities so you can kill that Wraith. But if you're thinking about min-maxing your veterancy, then you have a problem. You have like a paradox. Like, do I do that and then maybe that 1 HP guy gets the veterancy, or do I do it and you know, risk it and hope that I get the veterancy on top of it. So it turns out to be like a zero-sum game where it doesn't even really matter. Like, veterancy either has no impact or has the wrong kind of impact in most circumstances, or at least has the potential to have the wrong kind of impact. And generally speaking, when you're using game mechanics, when you're thinking about actually making game mechanics and putting them into a game, you want to have as few mechanics with high chances of making your game feel less conducive or less enjoyable. Like, you want to have a high upshot, but also a high floor. Like, a high ceiling and a high floor. You don't want to have, like, okay, if everything works fine, you know, and there's no variance, then the game will be whatever. But, you know, the game will be fine, and everything will be wonderful. But you could wind up having mechanics that, if there is some variance, and there generally are with these ones, veterancy really just throws it out the door for me. The idea that then also, even after you take into account actually gaining the veterancy being a problem, when you're trying to use your abilities to the most, the best of your ability and the best of, like, the most min-max way possible, you also have to keep in mind the idea that you will inevitably run into issues with, like, the idea of balancing a unit at max veterancy versus a unit with no veterancy versus a unit with some veterancy. To me, that really just turns my stomach, and it's like I've been attacked. I've had my Command and Conquer bases completely destroyed by one max veterancy unit too many times for me to think that this is a good, compelling system to include. So that's really just... I'm not saying that this is like objective truth that everybody arrives at if they're intelligent enough. I'm just saying that this is my personal opinion, and I'm really not a fan of cover systems or you know, shit like that. There's too much. There's too much small shit. I'm also not a fan of complex armor systems. Like Warcraft 3 has like these retarded damage variables and formula that you have to calculate. Like, I think StarCraft sometimes seems a little too complicated, but you know, at least that is only 3 armor sizes or armor unit sizes, so armor types. And then there's only, you know, so many different ways that interacts with the weapons. With Warcraft 3, it's so fucking retarded. Like, everything is just a broken mess because of how ridiculous it is to try and remember, like, oh yeah, magic does more to heavy, and it's like all these things that you have to add into rote memorization. StarCraft is on the verge of being absurd, and that's the simplest one. So... realistically speaking, I'm just more partial to games that give me more pristine control and don't fuck me up with all this unnecessary nonsense, garbage mechanic stuff. So, whatever. This is all... again, I was hoping to be able to talk about it more at length, but obviously I don't want to pad the video runtime of this too much. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you in a week for some more Halo Wars 2 content. Bye-bye.